Hello everybody and welcome back. I have two accounts for you tonight, both of whooping noises and strange whooping noises that have been heard by people out at work in the day, just going about the normal everyday business. And there are many reports on the map of whooping noises and unseen animals that have admitted a whooping noise when disturbed. I have included just a couple of reports where the witnesses in question heard a distinct ape-type whooping. Both witnesses described the noise as primate-like, loud whooping calls that travelled a long way, and neither could pinpoint the origin of the sound. Now, the first account is Often Whoops, and this is in Suffolk, 1985. And it was a gentleman who was out at work in the woods. And he said, "I have worked in the woods as a woodman for years, though not now. Anyway, back then, I was working, it was a Friday, and the job that day was to cut a ride, which is a path, and coppice the trees. And I'd gone through the woods just working as normal, and a feeling came over me very strongly that I was not alone. Now I'm 20 stone and pretty fearless, but I just lost it and I can't explain why. Something came over me and I just totally lost my nerves. I decided to head out of the woods and headed for the clearing. As I went along, I heard, as plain as day, a monkey go whoop whoop. I turned to look in the direction of the noise, couldn't see anything, and I looked where it came from, and as I looked the second time, I heard an almighty crashing and saw clearly a two-legged thing hurtling along really fast. What I saw was something about 80 feet away go across the trail at speed. It used its long arms to knock aside the trees and was just barging through, making a hell of a racket. All I can say is that it was just like a chimp in colour, but more like a gorilla in build, but more human-shaped. I just couldn't work it out. What could it be? I would estimate it to be somewhere in the range of about 5'8". And it was broad across the chest and shoulders, with arms at least a third longer than mine. This thing moved like we move. It was fluid. It wasn't bow-legged like a chimp or anything. I still have no idea what I saw, no clue. Just a dark, upright cross between a monkey and a human moving at speed across the path. Even now, after all this time, I still feel confused. I believe in Bigfoots and woodwooses and shug monkeys of myth, but seeing one is surreal. It's like I was watching it play out in front of me, as if I was watching it on film. But it was real, right in front of me. I can't describe the feeling of seeing one, and I'm really confused." And then the second account comes from Tilmanston. And it says, "Today while I was working, I'm a carpet fitter and I had a job out in the sticks. I was back and forth unloading things for the job, and as I was unloading some underlay from the van, I heard about 4 vocalisations. Really hard to explain and totally unexpected. Now the best way I can describe these sounds were like a whooping noise. Single whoops, one at a time, after each other. But they sounded like the sort of whoop sound you would hear in the jungle or in a film. They did sound primate of some kind. I checked when I got home, and the nearest zoo is 25 miles away from where I was working, and I wouldn't think a whoop could travel that far, but I might be wrong. I've never heard these noises before, and it was enough for me to stop me in my tracks. I was in Tilmanston area of Kent, which is an old mining village near the Dover Sandwich area. It sounded close, but not really close at the time. I couldn't really tell which direction it was coming from. I don't really know how to explain it. It wasn't a bird, and I know it wasn't a fox or anything. To be honest, as I was in work mode, working away, almost on autopilot, it shook me out of, my daydream. The whoop was that strange, and that's why it stood out so much. I could tell it was nothing I'd heard before, and it was definitely like a primate type of whoop. It sounded like a very haunting sound. It sort of hung in the air, but it sounded out of place. It wouldn't have sounded out of place, he said, in a jungle type environment. I just don't know what to tell you. It's all very hard, and it's very hard to explain. Well, you're not on your own, because there's lots and lots of accounts on the map. And nip over and have a look. I'll put the link in the description of whoops. Also howls and growls, but whoops are the strangest, because lots of things can howl and growl and make barking noises, but a whoop is a noise that stands out. And we all know the noise of an owl. So this was clearly much more, and something that sounded primate-like. And if you've heard anything like that, or you know anybody that's heard anything like that, please get in touch and let me know. So until next time, thank you very much for joining me. And I would like to say thank you for everybody that sent photographs in. And I will get them put into a video as soon as I can and get them out there. Because it's fantastic that you're all sharing like this. It's absolutely wonderful. So until next time, thank you very much. Goodbye.